these guys are now planed down. I just went till they were parallel. I tried to retain as much thickness as I could. There was a fair amount of cup in those boards, so these are a little thinner than I might have liked. Stock for the whole chair is going to be 1 7/8. I was hoping to get a little thicker. I'm just a fraction, maybe a 64th under that here. So my next task, I've got these all parallel, flat. I've jointed one edge, that's going to be a glue edge, and now I'm trying to figure out the best looking grain match. These are all from one board, so the grain should all be relatively similar. Got a cathedral here. This is mostly straight with a sort of a loop. Not liking that combination in particular. I've also chosen the top sides. Those are all facing up. That looks pretty nice. That's pretty nice too. This is going to have sort of a lighter streak down the center, so pretty happy with that. So let's get these glued up. These are, because they're close to 2 inches thick, I'm going to leave these in the clamps a lot longer than I normally would. So for more 3/4 inch flat stock, I always figure 45 minutes to an hour is plenty. I usually, depending on the project, I'll come back in and scrape the glue at some point along the way. I will probably do that here if I get a bunch of glue squeeze out, which I want. I really want these to be good strong joints. So I'm going to go heavy with the glue. Now these are going to be power carved later, so the surface is very little of the current surface is going to be the surface in the final stool. So I didn't figure I needed to be super crazy about getting these dead perfect. That looks like a bottom. I will confirm that before I glue. Okay, I like that grain match. Key here is to maintain all this thickness is keep these dead flush and parallel. Dead flush. It's trying to squeeze a squirrel around a little bit. Okay, so now that I have these notches cut out, the next step is just using a big 1/2-inch rabbiting bit to cut the notches out around the notches and to create sort of the female part of, well, it's actually a combination male and female part of the Maloof joint. So entering here, across here, I'm going sort of with the grain or across the grain. Here I'm going across and then with the grain I exit. But exiting this part here, I'm going to come out such that the bit turning this direction could potentially blow that grain out. I don't want that to happen, obviously. And so I've just clamped a waste block on here. I've just gotten this perfectly square up on the edges. This is just to provide some support to those wood fibers as the bit comes along and exits. So I've got the depth set, so it's basically exactly flush with the top. Ready to cut, just cut these guys, and then we'll be ready to move on. I think the next step on this is going to be starting to shape and then carve out this seat. But getting this part of the joinery done, then I'll move on to creating the legs and fitting the joinery from the legs to the seat.